3 years ago, it was.
No, it's actually over.
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
If you're not on TV, because I know it's screening the ones that aren't, like you're on YouTube.
You're going to be on the internet.
This actually includes.
Oh, yeah.
We got everybody?
This morning we had all.
I gotta get my Zoom here.
Sure. Yeah.
How much do you want to put in? Justin have to make any moves here anytime soon?
In a year. They'll be done a year from now.
Could be 4.
Carissa is the chief resident. She's her third-year class, so.
No, I don't know.
Which
Pickleball courts seem like it'd be
she's
nice.
I'm a-
a scheduler.
Doug is.
That kind of stuff.
Kevin,
Where they have the 30.
And,
you have a form easy.
so with
we have to
next
bring
November,
the-
December, she'll be making a decision on whether to make.
Because they're mowing that sort of every day.
Over there, I think there's some you can bring in.
Thank you. Talking to your guy.
Thank you.
You got lots of money.
Yeah.
You talking about pickleball?
What's that?
Yeah, of course, the CPU.
Yeah.
You don't even take.
Make it easy, right?
What's called the kitchen. Yeah, sure. Put the pork butt in that. Got a little line.
Oh, the kitchen?
Setting up outside, it doesn't take much to.
You got an event tonight?
We have rodeo in the kickoff.
At 2 o'clock? All right. We'll call the meeting to order. A couple of things I want to point out is when you talk, please make sure your green light is on. And when you present, please make sure you're speaking to the mic because, as you know, Mr. Heeb left, so we're not changing the way we do things. We'll be having him here from now on. And we're going to broadcast the presentations and most of the meeting and then end it and then go over the presentations at the end. So that's not broadcast. We're not broadcasting that part over the internet. But that gives a little more transparency for what's going on in the organization as well. So with that, Mr. Van Overshield, are you speaking for Mr. Dorman?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
You can stand up at the podium if you'd rather. Otherwise, you're welcome to stay there.
Oh, no, you're.
Okay, we're here today to, for our application to support the South Dakota High School Coaches Association. The 71st Annual Coaches Clinic is going to be held in Mitchell this upcoming Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And in application for that, we're looking for support to provide hotel rooms, for our speakers and our board of directors, and then also specifically money for a social that'll take place after our golf outing, which supports the South Dakota's Coaches Foundation. This is an annual event that's taking place, I believe, in total years. I think that we've been in Mitchell 4 years, and this is an event that was traditionally held up in Aberdeen, and in an attempt to save it, which I think we've effectively done, moving it to Mitchell, is to host that event in Mitchell. We'll be with the Highland Conference Center, I believe rooms at the Comfort Inn, and then we'll be using, obviously, the golf course, Wild Oak Golf Course, and then Dakota Wesleyan's facility for the meetings. So that's our plan. If you have any questions, please. And I included a copy of our event. Mr. Dorman puts this together, shows the speakers. Any questions? I can go on past attendance and what we can anticipate as far as rooms, that type of thing that'll be secured within the community. So any questions that you have?
Ken, a little history. I think it was Coach Carpenter that first came last year.
Yeah, Coach Depthville and Travis Carpenter, and I don't remember the exact year. I would say 2015.
15 is the first year I found,
Yeah, 2015.
So where was it last year, and is there a rotation, or what are we talking about?
Last year, it was held out in Rapid City, and that was kind of a plan to do that during 2020, but which never happened. So then they had it out in Rapid last year. And in our discussions, what we're looking at is continuing here in Mitchell through 2025, and then in 2025, the National Coaches Association is going to be That national conference is going to be held in Rapid City. So we would hold the state convention in conjunction with that in 2025. So we would anticipate being back here in Mitchell up through 2024.
And attendance-wise, I know it increased a lot when we brought it here. What are you anticipating this year?
I think the numbers that I have here, one is for the banquet, which is the event on Sunday. I think that will be in the 150 range for that, and then we'd anticipate 120 coaches, which would be for Monday and Tuesday. And then, of course, probably the biggest attended event would be the golf outing, which people mainly came in and take advantage of the social, and then they don't continue with the clinic itself.
Do you have to bid for it, or you just asked to have it here? Or?
Yeah, we just basically in a request, and the big thing, like a lot of organizations 5-6 years ago, we were looking at a way to find a way to have this opportunity continue where we can honor coaches, educate coaches, and Aberdeen had kind of run its course, I guess, from that standpoint, and we're attempting to continue and develop some strength with that here in Mitchell.
Okay, any other questions?
I did look before I came to the meeting, and we have 33 room nights out of that block so far. That's comfort.
You know which hotels what the small block?
Comfort Inn, and then the Hampton.
No, Emily's not here. I don't know what the Hampton has, but I would assume about the same.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Jocko, you want to go over your baseball?
Yes, I can. State amateur baseball tournament back in Mitchell again this year. 12-day tournament, start August 3 through 14th, Wednesday through 2 weekends, and then the final Sunday. This is going to be, I believe, I just looked quickly before I came here, I believe that this is the 14th time that we've had it in the last 17 or 18 years. And it's not because nobody else wants it. There's other towns that want it real badly. In fact, there were 2 towns in the last year that had contacted us asking if we would move it 1 year so they could have an endurance facility, and we didn't want to give it up, so we haven't. So we have it this year, and this is the 4th time in the last 5 years. So we have it next year. We're not sure yet about 2024. That's probably going to be decided during the state amateur this year, I'm guessing. There's a reason that we've had it so many times, and that's because we have a great volunteer workforce here in Mitchell that puts on the tournaments. We have 3 ground crews of guys that are like 15 on a crew, so that's 45 guys. And they're not always that busy out there, but if we have rain, then we definitely need it. And so there's a reason that we have the tournament in town. And one is because of the volunteers. Because it's very impressive, and it's very impressive to see a lot of guys running around in tournament hats. I think Mitchell can get more volunteers for something like that than anybody else. And I think the other reason is that we keep improving Cadwell Park. We keep putting money back into the park. And Mitchell Baseball has been an equal partner with the city in putting money into the facility. So I think that's another reason we've had it back so much. I believe that over the course of 12 days, we bring like 9,000 to 12,000 people to Mitchell. Now, granted, that's not new people all the time. I forgot a fan from Dakota came on Tuesday night to watch, and they won, and they played again on Friday. He was back, and I'm counting that as 2 people. But I think I'm conservative when I say that we bring 9,000 to 12,000 people to town over the course of 12 days. I also realize that it's the first week of August. It's the weekend, August, 4, 5, 6, when we're full with everything else. So the hotels are going to be full in Mitchell if we have this event or not. But I do believe that we still have a lot of overnight stays in Mitchell, especially the second weekend. Teams that are far away, And even if they get beat and don't play the next day, or stay in Mitchell for a night. So I think we get a pretty good turnout of people that go to the hotels. I also think it's a big thing for the Exchange Club in Mitchell. The Exchange Club sells the concessions out there, and that is really their only big fundraiser of the year. And without that, they wouldn't be able to donate to the different community groups in town that they do right now. So it's a big event for the Exchange Club. We're requesting $5,000, and where that money goes, we provide meals for the Amateur Baseball Association commissioners on the days where we have 2 sessions, an afternoon and an evening session. They don't have time to go place. So we buy meals for them. It's also for field maintenance and rental of Cadwell Park. It's also for lights out at Cadwell Park. It's also for a social after the Old Timers game that we always have on the opening week, on the opening day. It also goes towards the Dakota Western women's basketball team to give them money for selling tickets at the tournament. The $5,000 also go towards the PA announcer and his hotels. And then we have a volunteer social during the championship game where we just kind of pay back all the volunteers in town who've been out there for 12 days, and we have beverages and hamburgers down the right field line. Basically, the $5,000 enables us to treat people right, like the commissioners and those who make decisions on the tournament, and the people who work at the tournament, and it also provides us an opportunity to do the tournament right. So that's where the funding will go. Your questions? Yeah, we get the A's. We've always had the A's. The A's are always, and I don't know where they're, I don't know if it's in Brookings or Yankton this year, where it's at, but the A's start their tournament someplace else. Then they always come to Mitchell on the second Friday and play 3 afternoon games. Then they play a semifinal on Saturday, then the A championship. So we don't have them the whole week. But the good thing about the A teams is it's usually far away.
Right.
And that's when I think, where we get a lot of hotel overnights that second week. Because the Rapid City players are going to stay overnight. The Aberdeen players are going to stay overnight. So, yeah, right now, since we've turfed Drake Field, the A teams might be interested in coming and bringing their whole event to town. I don't know that, but Drake Field has always kind of been a problem for us because it's a field that's been tough to take care of because we don't have the time in the spring or the fall for the park departments to take care of the field because Dakota Western's practicing and Mitchell baseball is practicing. So now that we have the turf there, Drake Field's an excellent field to play on. So that may be something that happens in the future.
That should help you with rainouts too, shouldn't it? If you should have them.
We talked to the commissioners about that, and they were. I mean, even if we have rain, so if we have rain at the tournament, and we have the tarp on the field for 2 hours while it's raining, even after it stops raining, it's going to be another hour before we get the tarp off and get things fixed. So what they're going to be able to do, and that's up to them what they want to do. But if we're in the middle of the game, if we're in the 6th inning and we get rain, and all of a sudden it's going to take another hour to play a Cadwell, then I think they're going to move the game over to Drake Field. So Drake Field being in the, we have Drake Field now, and now it's turfed, and so I think that's going to increase our opportunities to do a lot of things at the turf.
You mentioned putting money back in. Mitchell Baseball is in the process or have done updating the scoreboard, the big scoreboard, $12,000 worth.
Yeah.
Mentioned that.
Yeah, we bought the scoreboard several years ago, and we've had white amber lighting, and it was kind of early on when Daktronics was using LED lighting on board, and I was under the assumption that we'd be able to see the board at 6 o'clock at night as the sun sets because it's a right field, but we were wrong. And for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been kind of an eyesore that you haven't been able to see our scoreboard. So we worked with Daktronics, and we are now putting in red LED lighting. Matter of fact, I think they're doing it today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to Jeremy, but it's going to be ready for this weekend for the Legion. So we're doing that at a cost of $12,000, and Mitchell Baseball is paying for that.
Okay. Anything else?
I guess the only thing I would say, since there wasn't an application that was received, you're not looking at the financials like you would do any other application that shows the estimated revenue and expenses. So I don't know if you still want to have that submitted just so you have that for review later, but that's what everybody else fills out and it wouldn't be included in this email.
I think most of us have been out there, so they know what kind of crowds we get out there. I mean, Alec or Canova or any of the area teams play, it's good.
I'm just saying, if you're asking other applicants to provide that information and you're not doing it consistently, I don't know if you'll get everyone responding with the information if you're not asking for it consistently. And you could still submit it after, but I think you should still have the right format asked for.
I understand that, and I'm involved with that.
Okay, anything else?
Because that profit and loss for state amateur, you've got to split that with the state, right?
We don't get any of the gate.
Okay.
The state gets all of the gate. We don't get any of the gate. You know, we have the opportunity to make some funding on our program sales, on our program advertising sales, and then a portion of the Exchange Club concession stand.
So where you make your money is on the bingo and
50-50.
50/50?
We make our money on bingo, 50/50, selling shirts, and, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And with the increase in prices, I'm guessing the concessions will be an interesting go this year.
That's a concern right now. But everybody's used to it, I think, so I don't think we're gonna shock anybody. I mean, our prices out of Cabell Park have always been very competitive. We've kind of made a big deal with them on that, because that's a big deal with the association. So when they're here, they know that we're able to get the best prices we can, so.
Okay?
Is the Exchange Club on board with this year? They're able to man it and everything?
The Exchange Club is on board for this year. I know that, you know, the Exchange Club is getting older, and I know that that's a concern of theirs, and I know that they're seeking other organizations to help them flip burgers and brats out there on certain nights, which they've done in the past, and we're gonna try to help them on that too. So, yeah, they are on board, but, you know, the problem is, you know, you get a few people that do a lot of things, and some of those people are out there 12 days in a row, so. I mean, it's a big fundraiser for the Exchange Club, but it is getting more difficult for them to man.
Okay, anything else? Okay, we'll save the discussion on these till the end, and then we'll shut it off the internet when we do that. So we'll go into approval of minutes.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Motion by Doug, second by Jocko. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Financial report. You gonna go over anything?
I'll just go over the first sheet for you, just so you can see this is as of July 7th, total Sports Authority collections, $30,000. Expense or the checks written, $52,980. Your current fund balance, $103. With the approved but not paid claims, you're down to $86,500. Here is your year-to-date total collection, so that includes the capital campaign collections as well by month. You can see we have one person that we're working with that is now 3 months behind, and they're getting their legal notices. And then year-to-date, this total here just shows you how much the total is year-to-date through July, if you were going to make a comparison where we are. So, because if you look year-to-date, obviously the other ones here are higher. So $87,000 in 2022, which is higher year-to-date than any of the years tracked on this one so far, 2017. So we're up about 9% from 2021, 39.5% from 2020, 10% from 2019. Any questions?
Okay, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Tim, second by Doc. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Updates, valuation, forms, and financials.
There was one evaluation form in your packet from the state VFW conference. I don't know if there's any comments on that.
It shows that they lost 787, right?
I believe so, yeah. It'd be the last item in your packet. There's their profit and loss. Does that show that does not show your
Our country.
donation in there, correct?
There's donation income, but I don't know who it's from.
Oh, maybe that is then. Maybe we're in that group. I'm going to pull it
Didn't
up
we
right
give
now.
them 1,000?
State VFW was, they asked for 5,000 and you awarded 3,130. So ours is in there, I bet, and then they got $400 from something else.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Head tablecloths every day.
That's funny, actually.
I'll tell Marty that. All right, new business, event coordinators, SEA grant guideline, grant request questions. Do we have that?
You guys had reviewed that, I think, before at the last meeting. I just included it on there because I was not at your last meeting. I don't know if there's anything needing to be done for this.
That was the thing Aaron brought to us and asked us about questions he was going to go out to organizations with, and I think everybody was kind of in agreement that what he wanted to ask was okay.
Okay.
So,
And we did have a survey. I'm trying to pull this one up too. It said it was planned on being sent out on the 27th. I did put it into a doodle because we do have an email address for most of the contacts. Some of them in the the folder that we got from the CVB does not have, it just had the names. It didn't have like contact information. So I have our intern is trying to track that down for us. So these are the questions. Was there anything else that needed to be added? I'm assuming you guys reviewed this at the last meeting?
yeah, I don't think we had anything to
I
add.
did, is the contact information,
I added that. So
Oh.
what I've done is
Okay.
I've took the initial ones and I put it into a doodle survey or a survey monkey. And what I thought I would do is I would send it out to the board members first. You guys could go, usually if you test it and you click through it, then you're like, oh, I wish they would have asked that. Then you just send me back anything that you think is missing and I'll add it into that survey monkey. We'll send it out to the list that we have contacts for. If you guys have other contacts, I would just send it out to everybody that you can that you could forward it on to. So that's kind of that's how I was going to approach it, if that sounds the way you want to move forward, I guess.
That'll bring it back to a common city, or your survey monkey will come back to a common.
Yep, yeah, so we've got the paid version, so we can do extended questions, and you can I can print a report for everybody that shows you can create an Excel database download of contacts and stuff like that. So we'll have all of that in there when it comes back. Oh my gosh, it's not letting me log on. I was going to pull it up and show you what the survey looks like. I could send it out to everybody as a test, and if you guys don't see anything you want added, then we'll just go with that.
Why don't you do that?
Okay.
Do you think the opening statement explains exactly what doesn't really say in there that we help fund their activity or possibly could help fund their activity? I'm just thinking somebody that hasn't worked with us before, you read that and you don't really get the fact that, oh, they can help me. Yeah, I can come and ask for, I don't know.
No, I agree with that too.
I'm just making that up. I think that's a great idea.
So we have a questionnaire after this then, too?
This is the questionnaire.
But on the Survey Monkey, we added to it to collect a little bit more information than what was originally shown. So if I send you guys out the link right after this meeting, you can go through it, and then I would say,
Scroll down.
whatever you're thinking of as you're reading through it, that's the only other question. We added a few others.
Why
If you see
don't you add question 8 that says, are you aware that SEA can possibly help you fund?
Provide funds to help you
Yeah, however you want to say it. Funding is available, or, yeah.
Do we have a list of events that they could possibly hold? Do we ask them that and what they would need, what kind of help they would need to hold those kind of events? Like, a state soccer tournament and all that kind of stuff? Is that in there?
I think there's something.
There's something similar,
I mean, it'd be nice to
Well,
know what's out there.
Ideally, somebody will be in this position somewhere again, and they'll be able to help with,
Look at number 6, Jocko, the obstacle, volunteers, those kind of things.
I didn't send me my, I'm gonna have to reset it, sorry. I can't log on, but we did add something similar to that, like if, are there events that your organization would like to host that are currently unable, this is not great, what are those events? Facilities, volunteers, oops, I'm just making up words. Ah, there, how's that?
Very good.
Okay.
okay.
What if we put a summary of your financial, like your data by event type? Or on the second page, your events by month or whatever, so that they kind of see what we've done in the past? Would that be helpful?
You mean like the financial report?
Yeah, so like, if I'm looking at it.
The events that she has in there?
One thing I was gonna do, since you guys are meeting on, we're gonna have a YouTube stream now, and we have that online calendar that people can subscribe to already anyways. I was gonna create like a sub-page on the city site, it's just Sports and Events Authority. So we could house that information there, and just, if you'd like more information, go here to see what programs we've brought, what's coming up in the future to help them get ideas. We could put contact information on there, it'd be nice to list the current board members, just so someone might feel more comfortable reaching out to you, but they don't want to come to the big group, so they could have a first conversation. That's kind of what I guess the mayor and I were talking about last week. I just haven't got it created yet. I'm going to do that though.
And once you get this from her and look at it, you can add comments or whatever ideas you have and get them back to Stephanie, and we can work with.
And then I could have it out then we could, if I get your comments back right away, I could even send it out Friday or Monday at the latest, so. Including calendar and financial and event homes.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay.
Okay. Next meeting will be Tuesday, August 9th.
Discuss your request in exec, and I'll shut off.
Yeah, that's just, next meeting will be Tuesday, August 9th, here, 2 p.m., council chambers. She'll turn us off now, and we can talk about the request.